YouTube tarot reader, Lisa Lee, has been found using bad language during her twice-weekly live streams. In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know. The internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future. I've just realised nobody can hear me, but I'm back. I'm on now. So I was just saying hello to everybody here on the live. So we do have Mariana Ivanisevic. Necro Neil is one of our lovely mods. He's actually the producer, but you know, he's modding tonight for us. We've also got Holland, who's a moderator, and Patricia, who's a moderator. We've got Mina Hill on as well. And yeah, hopefully I fixed this now, Holland. Hopefully it is well and truly fixed. I did realize I haven't actually double checked it on that meter there. Oh, it's a little bit quiet, isn't it? There we go. There we go. Patricia's here while she's awake. Bless you, my darling. I've also realized I don't have my earrings in, so I feel completely naked. It's just going to be one of those streams today. That's just the way it's going to be. We're looking quite dark. I might have to turn the ring light up, but the ring light has moved position because we are slowly getting round to sorting out the back room. I know, right? Those of you that have been here for a while will know it's probably been about 18 months that this has been in progress. So you can see that we've had some change rounds. I've now got loads of books up here. See, Neil, I do own books. Look, books. Look, books. Thank you, Brian Oliver. I will read for you in just a second. Holland, well, it is a late shift, so you think it's okay to be dark. I know, but half of our, literally, I would say 65-70% of our viewers aren't from the UK. And so hence why getting to know where everybody's coming in from just allows me to have that that sort of time scale. I'm also, because everything's gone a bit weird, everything's all in a slightly off position for me today. But look, I've changed, the things have changed. Oh, I've got a drawer open there, never mind. It's been busy. It's been busy. Yes, Brian, you will be the first doodah off the doodah, the first cab off the rank. I do have, before I do though, I do have some housekeeping. Now, you do have to remember that tarot is for entertainment purposes only, okay? You do make all your own decisions about your own life. And of course, tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, that's a bit better, or counseling advice. If you're looking for support in those areas, please do seek out professional advice in those areas, okay? That is very, very important. So yes. Also, you've got to be 18 years of age. Why? Because I don't want to be dealing with no parents. I do not want to be dealing with your parental advisor, your grandma, your uncle, the person that looks after you, your mum, your dad, whoever it is. I do not want to be dealing with any of them. I've also just realized that my hair is far too pulled back. I look like I am bald, and I'm not yet anyway. So yeah, I don't want to be dealing with any parental figures, basically. That's why. So what else was there? Oh yeah, don't dox yourself. Basically, don't dox yourself, right? Listen, just remember, we are a lovely community here on the YouTubes, right? This corner of the YouTube space, we are a really lovely community. You'll see people will ask questions in the chat and people will offer advice and thoughts and feelings and all of that. It's really, really comforting. It's really nice space. However, we also know that the internet as a whole is full of trolls. Big, huge trolls, little trolls, big trolls, little trolls, cardboard box. And we know that little troll, cardboard box, big cardboard box. Yeah. Big girls, big girls. Sorry, I've got Kevin and Perry in my head now. So yeah, we all know it's full of trolls, right? There's more trolls on the interwebs than have ever lived in a Grimm's fairy tale bridge or under a Grimm's fairy tale bridge. So yeah, just watch your own internet security, please. Not just here, but watch it everywhere. Watch it everywhere. I believe it's on. It should be on. I hope it's on. You're going to make me check now, aren't you? I am pretty certain it is on. Let's go and check on the interwebs to see if Lisa's done the very, very essentials of what makes it to be a YouTuber on the internet. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Live. I'm in the back end now. Says Mrs. Yes, it's all on. It's all on. Of course it is. Oh, ye of little faith. Of course it's on. If subscriber mode on, then slow mode's on because I do it all at the same time. Good evening to Judy. I don't know what I'm singing now. I don't know what this tune is, but it's now stuck in my head. Good evening, Judy. Good evening, friends. Just getting home from work. Lovely to see each of you. Good evening to Judy. You are enough, Judy. Absolutely. Right then. So I've got to tell you, before I start, Brian, just give me this little indulgence. I have reviewed 2 tarot decks in the last couple of days, right? One, I will show you. This was due to go up on the stream on Monday. Rebel Witches Tarot. Yep, that was due to go up. And then I saw this thing on Amazon, right? It's called a tarot deck. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. The particular tarot deck is called the Modern Goth Tarot. It was released officially today. I got it this morning. So I have reviewed it and that will be going up on the channel tomorrow. So yes, it was official released in the UK this morning. I had it on pre-order. It's turned up. I reviewed it. So that is going up this weekend. And then if I feel it, then I may well stick up the other one for next week as well. So there will be a tarot review coming up probably tomorrow. Now, members, that does mean you're not getting it an extra day early, but obviously because it's just come out, I thought I need to get that up. So I will give you the other one. We'll go into the members stream at the same time. So you'll have that a week early to peruse at your leisure. That's a whole different type of thing to peruse. I'm not going, look what's happened. I know anybody would think that I'm on those alcoholic drinks or something. By the way, does anybody in the UK, have you ever heard of a buzz ball? There's something you get in America. I don't know what's in it. My American subs and my American viewers, can you let me know what is a buzz ball? Because they're like a little round drink and you go, and then you go. But it's like a little, so it's like a, not even a can size, and they are alcoholic and they look really super tasty. And I want to try one, but we can't get them over here. So anyway, right. All of that said, this is my drink of choice tonight. Dr. Pepper Zero. I haven't even got a coffee. I know what is wrong with me, largely because we finish at 2 o'clock in the morning and I've got to go straight to bed because at 7 o'clock in the morning, I've got to get up. So, you know, it's going to be one of those days tomorrow as well. Anywho, I think, have I said everything I need to say? There's 2 ways to get a tarot reading on this channel. I'll do that bit now. 2 ways to get a tarot reading. The first is to wait until I open up a new round. Okay. When I open up a free round, you'll hear this noise. If it will play, it does. You'll hear that air horn noise and that tells you it's time. Okay. I will then put a post up if it's working. Any of the posts? Nope, my posts aren't working my end. So if one of the mods or producer Neil could do that, that would be grand. Saying that the round is open. And then you've got those 2 choices. The first thing you can do is to pumpkin flavor buzzball. I need these. I need pumpkin buzzballs. I fruity alcoholic cocktails sounds delicious. They also have pumpkin flavor. I need buzzballs. I need buzzballs. So yes, that's the first way. Wait until I open up a free round. Pop your question into the live chat, starting with the word question, and one of those will get chosen at random. It is totally random. It comes through to me by the keeper of the questions, who has a randomizer system at their end. The second way of doing it is to do what Brian has done, and it is to send your question in the form of a super chat. Comes up like that, look, just on the screen. What it also does is it also comes onto my screen in a whole different area and automatically stars it, so I can't miss where it is. Look, I can just click on it. Look, so simple. Look, I just go, is there? Amazing. And that is the only way to queue jump a reading on this channel. Okay, if you want a longer reading, $8 I think it is in the States, or £6 in the UK and above, donations of that amount will get you a 6, 7 or sometimes even a 10 card reading, depending on what we need from the cards. So all of that to be said, Brian is up first, okay, because Brian has already sent that there super chat. So then, Brian, your reading is going to start in precisely 17 seconds straight after this. We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my god! Okay, bear with me. I am aware of the problem. I am looking for some blue tack to fix the problem. That is a very dark image. So, oops, I don't mean dark in the kind of brooding Batman kind of way. I mean like, oh, is that not plugged in? Oh no, hold on. What have I done? Is that off? Why is that? It's not plugged in. I've got a lamp that's not plugged in. Why would you even, why? Look, it's beautiful, isn't it, when your cable's like that? And now everything is falling over, and I plug that in. There we go. Look at that, me air duster for my keyboard. I know, right? Everything else is all over the place now. Pretend you didn't see any of the mess. What mess? No mess here. There's no mess here. Right there. Whoopsie. So we're going to try using the unfolding path deck again today. I did use it on ... whenever I last streamed. I think it must have been Tuesday, because I was poorly on Sunday. And it is a very, very, very feminine deck, but it also gives very upbeat readings, which is a little bit different to the fifth spirit that I normally use on the channel. So we're going to go with this one today and see what happens. Okay, so then let's have a look. Right, okay. I was just looking at the comments then, because I did wonder whether anything had come through, but that is absolutely fine. So here we go. Brian's reading. What are Amanda's current feelings regarding you? Okay, my darling. Well, what I'll do, I will release the deck. It's not quite releasing the Kraken, but you know. And stay there. That's what you're there for. We're going to cleanse the space as always. And hopefully, if I press this, yeah, we bring in Wispy with that air elemental dragon energy. And there we go. Is that better? That's a little bit better. And we also get that wind chime sound effect from the lovely Wispy. So Wispy is a dragon. There is a whole podcast episode about my dragons. Nope, they're not wanting to work today. Down in the description box. Normally I'd be able to press a button and it would automatically load the link, but that isn't actually working for me today. But yes, hopefully, my darling, hopefully we're going to get a good reading for you. So Wispy, Brian Oliver would like to know, what are Amanda's current feelings towards them? So what are Amanda's feelings? What is Amanda thinking or feeling when she thinks of Brian? That's what we want to know, basically. Does her heart go all of a flutter? Does she get all pink in the face? Or does she get red in the face and angry and grrr? What happens? What happens when Amanda thinks of Brian? What are her feelings for them right now? Let's have a little look. See. So we'll do your drop. There we go. And so where you are now. Oh, the Ace of Swords. I think there's been a bit of a recent disruption. A little bit of a recent disruption to the force, maybe. It feels so. The reason I'm saying that is that swords, this is wobbling. Let me just try and correct that wobble. Swords is it's partly the air element, but it's also the suit of trials, tribulations, trouble and strife. It's the suit of hurdles. So there's a lot of, for me, there's a lot of sort of difficult energy around the swords. Now, one thing I will say is that the swords are, because they are also the suit of air, they are the suit of ideas, and sometimes new ideas can bring with them disagreements and upheavals, because you're literally saying, oh, I want to turn vegetarian. Well, hang on a second, we've got 25 people coming for Thanksgiving, they're all expecting a turkey, and if you go vegetarian, you're the one that normally does all the cooking. So what happens? Do you know what I mean? And there's all sorts of vibes around aces, that when those new ideas come in, when those new projects, new starts come in, they bring those new hurdles. So it's not necessarily saying that there's a big, huge argument between you and Amanda, but it's just saying there is now maybe something in the way. Does that make sense, Brian? Hopefully that makes sense to you. What you need to know, we've got the Two of Swords. Now that's very bizarre, because off camera I have been shuffling and playing with this deck. So this is not a shuffling error. This is down to Wispy giving me the two. Let me go. I'm just double checking this wasn't the three. The future opportunity is the Eight of Cups. Don't panic. I know this looks scary. Don't panic. So the two is that cross swords type energy. It's that being, you can see here, slightly different symbolism, but we've got the swords pointing at two different ends. So this is suggesting that actually you and Amanda have had some kind of, not disagreement is kind of a bit strong, but maybe a difference of opinion, where it turns out instead of both of you pointing in the same direction, you are actually 180 from each other. Now that can be fine. You know what I mean? You can have disagreements with people on fundamental things as long as you agree to differ and respect each other's opinions and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I know many couples who have fundamental differences, whether it be in, you know, what they eat or in what they believe. And, you know, I know a couple who, one is a very, very, very dyed-in-the-wool witch, full-on black cloak, everything you could imagine, witchy, witch. And then her partner just happens to be very extremely Christian. And they both have their beliefs, and where they agree, where the belief systems line up, is where they tend to stay in that space, if you get what I mean. So where Christianity will go off the realm slightly and be very anti-witchcraft, well, the husband doesn't believe that, because he knows that his wife, in this case it's actually a partner, but he knows his partner is an amazingly loving human being and practices witchcraft from that loving human being emphasis, as most witches do. So again, you can be 100% poles apart while still be in agreement with each other, but it does feel as if there is this disagreement that's in play at the moment. There is a blindfold here, so maybe the cause of it is as yet unseen, because quite often for me, blindfolds indicate information that is yet to be revealed. It's like, I've been blindfolded, led into a room. Is this going to be a surprise party? Is this going to be a gunging? is this going to be, you know, somebody with a crossbow and I've got an apple on my head and thank you very much, you know, goodbye, good night sort of thing. So yeah, it feels like there has been a disagreement, but it also feels, to be honest with you, because we've got this future possibility, the 8 of cups. Cups is your emotional suit. So cups is your suit of love, of friendship, of positive emotions like that. The 8 is all about the journey to the 9. In this case, it looks like this person maybe has had one too many glasses of wine as they head towards the 9 of cups. The 9 of cups is, for me, the 9 is full, the 10 is overflowing. So the 9 would be full of loving energy. So it doesn't feel as if there was a negative here, Brian. It feels like, although there's been a disagreement, it can be one of those things with cognitive dissonance. You can believe 2 opposing opinions at the same time. A couple, even though they are together, can have opposing opinions, or friends or family can have opposing opinions, even though they love each other and are very strongly connected with each other. Does that make sense? It does feel as if the journey onwards is continuing. So I don't think there's here, it's not like you're not going to speak to each other again. There's not going to be a huge massive breakup. It feels like whatever ripples are there at the moment will come good, because you've got this journey to the 9 here. So hopefully, my darling, that makes sense. It feels like it feels like Amanda is a little bit maybe miffed, a little bit pissed off at something that's been said, or an opinion, or something that's been raised. But in the long run, this is the card to look out for, because this is the future opportunity, and it's a good one. It's heading towards the 9, that fulfillment of all that loving energy. Hopefully that makes sense, my darling. Thank you very much for your question, and I'm going to come back into the live chat now. I need to do that, and I need to do that. Right then, let's move the camera out of the way. So then, hopefully that makes sense, Brian. Thank you ever so much for your question, my darling, and thank you for your super chat. I must say, I do quite like it being a bit darker here. Let me have a look. Where am I going? Where am I going? Where am I going? Oh gosh, we've got loads of comments here. What in the world is a buzzball? It's an alcoholic thing in that they're States of America United, as they sometimes claim to be. I thought you'd know, my darling, being, oh, why have I not got my little, there you are, light up the selenite tower. I thought you would know, being in the States. I don't know. I occasionally watch Amberlynn Reid, a YouTuber, a very, very, very plus size YouTuber. And she has been doing live streams while drinking buzzballs. And she'll have 2 or 3 during a stream, 3 or 4 during a stream, and get a little bit tipsy, and then drama ensues. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. Did you use my link? Because I do get about 2 pence or 20 pence commission or whatever it is. Thank you, Neil, for posting all about Wispy. Also, by the way, talking about shopping and things, hang on, you love a good pasta. What? Where's that come from? Hang on. Oh, I don't know. I'm quite confused now. It is very rare, very, very rare for Patricia to buy a tarot deck. Very, very rare, my darling. Oh my God, you haven't bought one for 3 weeks. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. It is a shopping addiction. Talking of shopping addiction, thank you, Holland, for the box. It turned up. Now, I want to say this morning, I really want to say this morning, but it might not have been so, but I think it was this morning. So thank you ever so much for a box of arty crafty goodie things. It was very lovely. No problem, Brian. I hope it helps, my darling. I really hope it helps. You think the lighting looks cool? I must say, I do quite like it like this, especially with this selenite tower changing colors. You like the strawberry buzzballs? I want a buzzball now. I want a buzzball. I really want a buzzball. Oh, I have some Christmas mead. I do actually have, I'm looking at it right now across the room, across a crowded room. It's only in here because it got moved into the doorway and then it's been moved onto a bookshelf because there's more than just these. There's more books over there. It's been moved onto a bookshelf and temporarily, but it is calling out for me. But it's a Christmas mead, so I'm going to leave it until Christmas. Although I do like mead. Could I? I don't think I could stream. We might have to do a tipsy. Oh, that would be really funny. That would be really funny. We should do a tipsy tarot. That would be hilarious. Hilarious. Shots you could buy over the bar. You're talking about maybe what was it that I used to drink? Jaeger bombs. That was a shot that you put into, in some cases, a vodka and Coke or vodka Red Bull. What else do we get? Jelly shots, absinthe. Two Dogs 2020. That was more of a thing you just necked, wasn't it? But yeah, lots of drinks. Tipsy tarot. Shall we do a tipsy tarot? I think we should. When's the next? Well, Sunday's the 1st of September. So maybe we'll do. You'll all have to remind me. I'll have to double check when I don't have to get up in the first thing in the morning. I liked Jaeger bombs because you got aboard the Jaeger train and then where it stopped, nobody knew. But once that Jaeger train, once you boarded it, it was woo woo straight down to the end of the line. Trust me, with the Jaeger bombs. Oh, I used to love the Jaeger bombs. Love the Jaeger bombs. Silver Birch Witch, hello, my darling. You're from Wales. Hello. Good evening. Yucky da. Or no, that's not right, is it? Because that's good day. Trying to remember my Welsh. I cannot remember my Welsh, you see, but my grandmother, she used to sound ever so occasionally, you see, she'd get a little bit of a Welsh accent. So every now and again, just to really piss her off, we'd go for a really slight Welsh accent. And now I'm doing it, it sounds more Indian because I haven't got her with me for many years now. But yeah, it used to be a members only tipsy because the gods only know what you'll do. What? You said you're from Wales. Something like that. Anyway, but you're not Welsh. That's fine. That's fine. I am in Leeds, although I am not Yorkshire. So that's all good. Right. I do think it's a good idea. I do think it's a good idea. No, we'll just do it. We'll just do it live. It's fine. It probably won't be monetized because God knows what I'll say. God only knows what I'll say on a live stream when I'm rabbiting on and I've got a little bit tipsy. But yeah, I think it needs to happen. I really do think it needs to happen. Anyway, right. Let's have a wee look. I don't know why I'm suddenly talking like I'm Scottish now. I'm Scottish. Stop doing accents, Lisa. Just stop. You're going to piss off the entire country. Stop the entire world. Stop doing the accents. Right. In my head, right? In my head, I think, oh my God, I'm so amazing. I'm so amazing at accents, you know. I can do any accent. And then I try and somebody plays it back to me and I cringe. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't do any accents. I'll tell you what we should do though. Shall we get on with another tarot reading and shut me up? I think that's a bloody good idea. So then if you would like, there we go. If you would like a tarot reading, the next round is officially open. So do please get your question in. Start your tarot question in the live chat with the word question. That is super duper duper important. Okay, it is super trooper important. It is very, very important indeed. Once you've done that, one of them will get selected at random. When it's been selected at random, everybody else, please select and copy your question and hold it for the next free round. Don't forget, the only way on this channel that you can guarantee your reading is to go straight across to the YouTube, down where there's a little sort of wavy, I think it's supposed to be a dollar bill, or now it just looks like a monetary note. Click that. and you can send it through as a super chat. Don't forget, if you do super chat more than $8 or the equivalent of £6 here in the UK, you will get yourself the longer, more detailed, more advanced reading. Hopefully that helps. Just in case you need a recap, here we go. Okay, while we're there, don't forget everybody, Mina Hill, hello my darling, are you still with us? I thought I hadn't seen you in the chat for a little while. I thought you had gone. Mina Hill, there you are my darling, I've got you. Hello, welcome. You will be the next reading, my darling. Let me have a look, please. What was that? Sadly, I can't have much alcohol now without feeling crap for the next 2 or 3 days. You used to be able to neck an astonishing amount. I used to as well. I used to be able to. So my drink of choice was double amaretto, double vodka, Diet Coke, and double vodka. Put them all together in a glass. So a double vodka, double amaretto, double vodka. So a double in a glass filled up with Diet Coke, sometimes with ice. But yeah, that was my go-to, and that was when I was working on the door, and I would have several of those. Yay. These days I simply smell a bottle of wine. Just, you know, somebody walks past in a restaurant and they're having a bottle of wine. I've got a hair flipping in my eye as well now. But you know, the waiter opens a bottle of wine on the table opposite, and I go, oh, I was starting to get a sore head now. A little bit drunk. Judy, amaretto and Diet Coke is lovely. Adding enough vodka, you taste the first one. That's all I'm going to say. You taste the first one. By the time you're through to the third or fourth or fifth, you can't feel your legs, but you know you're still at work for another 2 hours. So it's good. It's all good. I used to work in nightclubs, amongst other jobs. Anyway, enough about that. Mina Hill, my darling, let's have a look for your question. Let's turn off the banner. Suddenly I've got a new, they've updated things ever so slightly. It doesn't make it any easier. In fact, it makes it more blooming annoying. But they've updated things. So I'm just trying to find where everything. Oh, you love amaretto. Oh, that's cool. I thought that was the green being poorly, messily poorly emoji. And I was about to have a falling out then, but that's fine. Amaretto is good. Small doses. What is coming for you for the month of September, Mina Hill? We're going to have a look at that for you right after this. Okay, bless her. A panic attack, anxiety attack. What was our middle doggo, who is now our oldest doggo because the elder one passed away. She's having a few panic attacks. We've had to get a bug zapper thing, you know, like they have in takeaways. We've got one of those now in the kitchen, and every time a bug goes zap, and it makes like a snapping noise, she really kind of has a bit of a weird reaction to it. So we're trying to keep telling her that everything is good, but my other half was just saying that she's she's in her bed, and the two doggos are in bed together, and she's doing okay, but she's still having a few breathing issues because she wants cake. So yeah, I think that's what it is. I think she actually knows if she does the whole, I'm really, really scared. We get her up on the sofa, give her lots of cuddles, and normally she gets a treat. So I think that's what she's doing now. I think she's trying to play us. But anyway, right, Mina Hill, I've got your question, my darling. and I have got the I've got Wispy coming in. So then, Mina Hill, let's have a look. What is coming up this month? Oh, we've had a card flip. I was trying to see whether that was right. We've got Judgment, but it's reversed, right? It was literally coming out like this, so it's classed as reversed. So what is the Judgment card all about? Well, let me click down here. This is interesting because the other day I think we did the entire stream and only one major arcana turned up. So this is the standard depiction of Judgment. So you can see we've got that angelic figure, and here we've got this sort of, I think this looks a little bit like the princess from Neverending Story with those white eyes and sort of the headband thing. But anyway, so we've got this angelic figure. We've got these angel feathers here, the angel feathers here becoming sort of wings, and then we've got all of this sparkling energy around them. Now, typically, the Judgment card is calling the souls of the past to justice. To judgment. It's calling them to judgment. It's basically the Day of Reckoning type card. That doesn't mean anybody's about to snuff it, or anyone's, you're not going to get ghosts turning up next month or anything like that. But what it does say is that you're going to be judged on your actions. Now, when it's reversed, it can mean two different things, and you'll find this out as the month goes on as to which is more prevalent. So, Mina Hill, you could be judging yourself and your own actions really, really harshly. You could be looking at the work you've done and go, that's just no good. I wish I was better at it. I should be better at it, blah, 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 blah. And really doing yourself a disservice, saying that, the work and the effort you've put into something isn't good enough. Or you could be being judged unfairly from someone else. And the only way we're going to know is to see how September kind of plays out as to exactly which way round this reversal is. It may well be, my darling, that we'll get some more clarity as we get this card drop. So as your cards come through, it may be that we can see, actually, you're going to be judged, or you're judging yourself. Okay, so then let's have a look as where you are going to be throughout September. So going into September, what is the energy that you've got that is going to be leading on with? We've got the Three of Pentacles. Now, this is a card of learning. Interesting. Why is this learning? Why could this be anything to do with learning? Well, I don't know whether you can see, but we've got all these lovely bees, and I quite like bees. So we've got these bees. We've got the beekeeper. He's made his honey on the bee. Well, the bees have made the honey, obviously, with the honeycomb in the beehive. And look, we've got these lovely, if those were slabs of neat honey, I'm a diabetic, like half of one of those would probably, put me into the ground. But you can see we've got three bees here. We've got the Three Pentacles. Everyone's great, right? We've got the beekeeper, all protected. Everything's great. Look what this one's doing. Look what this person's doing. Hanging around while the bees, technically the bees don't pollinate the apples. They pollinate the flowers, but we'll go with it. The bees are hanging around the apple tree to get some nice, juicy apple juice. And this person's picking them. And look, you can see this bee, where is it? This bee here has gone all the way. This is their apple tree. And the beekeeper knows that. And so this is why this relates to learning, okay? Really, really round the houses way of describing that card, wasn't it? I do apologize. But yes, so this is about learning. This is about evolving knowledge. And this is about also, respecting the animal kingdom and all of that stuff. But it's mainly about learning and learning as you go through. Pentacles is career, work, finances, but it's also study. So if there's anything you're studying, anything that you are working and you are doing an educational course, or you're trying to increase your qualifications, anything like that, this is really, really well suited. But it does also sometimes mean that there are lessons to learn in life. Not just that you are going to study, that there are, real life lessons. We've also got the moon. Now that's interesting. So the moon, look at this. These are stunning cards. The moon here, this is, you can see this person, we've got the lobster. Quite often with the moon, you see the moon depicted. You can see a wolf and a jackal, or a jackal and a dog, or these two animals howling at the moon. And you see sometimes it's a crab, sometimes it's a lobster, kind of on a rock looking up at the moon. So we've got that traditional sort of moon image here. We've also got, look, the traditional image here of the lunar goddess. So the moon can relate to one of two things. And these flowers are also ... I don't remember off the top of my head. Are they lilies? Is this a lily pad? Possibly, can't remember. But quite often the moon can represent a 28-day cycle, or it can represent the need to look into your own spiritual self for guidance. Okay, and when this is reversed, coming up next to the sort of learning card, really, I think this suggests that you've been ignoring part of your own sort of spiritual self and your own spiritual journey, because you've been either studying or because you've been, you know, working and trying to better your situation in some way. But I'll show you the moon. You can see, like, it's just standard depiction of the moon, isn't it, really? But with this really does talk about that spiritual connection. Again, we've got the white spiritual aurora, sort of auric energy going on, similar to what we've got here with the judgment card. So I'm wondering whether there is something here spiritually that you are not acknowledging, whether there is something here in your life that you have let your spiritual side go for a little bit because you're focusing on other things. But let's just have a look at your third card. It's the eight. Okay, the Ace of Swords coming up. So there is definitely something here, my darling, because we've got a lesson that you need to learn in September, and growth and working towards, you know, bettering yourself through learning. Arguably, this person could be the apprentice of the beekeeper. I don't think it is. Other people have said, I don't think it is, because if this was the kindly beekeeper, why doesn't it give the apprentice all the gubbins, the hat and all the outfit and everything? Do you know what I mean? So I don't think it is the apprentice, but in other decks, it does talk about apprenticeships. But the future opportunity card is the Ace of Swords again. Now that again is a new start. This will be more towards the end of the month, I would guess. A new project that can be a hurdle. So something for you to overcome, something for you to achieve, basically. So it feels like September for you is a really, really important month in terms of learning a lesson, or taking on some new kind of study that will take your life forward, whilst also really needing to connect back with your spirituality and not judging yourself. I think because of the way these two cards feel, I think these two are very firmly linked, because this judgment card, I think this really is about you judging yourself, not necessarily being judged from outside. Although you may be thinking, I'm being judged from deity, God, goddess, whatever sort of higher power. I'm being judged because I'm not being true to my spiritual self. But I think, in all honesty, it's more likely that you are feeling quite harsh about where you are in your life right now, and hopefully September will bring that a little bit forward. This does really feel, though, that there are going to be some hurdles to overcome, some, like, fairly towards the end of the month, a fairly big change, a new start somewhere that is going to take a bit of getting used to, put it that way. Hopefully, Mina Hill, that helps. You're going to have to come in during next month and let us know what it's all about and what is actually happening, because it really does feel that it's going to be an important month for you in several ways. So yeah, do let us know how that goes. But also, if you're watching this on the replay, thank you ever so much for the replay crew. You are all amazing people, so thank you for watching this. But let me know what you think of the cards. Aren't they just the most beautiful deck? Soft, feminine, but still not afraid to tell people what the harsher messages in life are. Do you know what I mean? It's not sometimes with a good looking, a pretty, a feminine type card, you can kind of get the idea that the people that created it have taken away any of the teeth. It's like a toothless tiger, all growl, no real damage. Whereas with this deck, because of the way it's drawn, because it does have some really interesting imagery that can be interpreted in many different ways, that truthful essence is still there. I like it. Anyway, let me have a look at the let me have a look in the comment section. You have some great alcohol memories, but also some really bad ones. You see, luckily for me, most of my time drinking and partying was just as smartphone technology was coming in. So iPhones were a thing, but they weren't really, you know, you took selfies to take a selfie. You didn't just take photos of everything that was happening all the time. So although there are probably plenty of pictures out there with selfies that I took with people, luckily that Facebook page that I had 5,000 people on it, that got closed down by Facebook. So whoopsie, those photos don't exist anymore. You get migraines with any alcohol, so you just stay away from it. You need to drink more water with it, probably. You like your Guinness? Yep. Now when you wake up, you know it's the best way you'll feel for the day. To be honest, that's how I feel every single morning, whether I've been drinking the night before or not. So, you know. Oh my God. You always remember your granddad and step granddad drank each other under the table at your wedding, and think how at their age you had to help one of them unlock his hotel room. That's funny. Yeah, no, I know, right? I'm trying to see if there's any other comments. They could teach us a lot of people about how to live life fully. Exactly. I am absolutely going to do a Tipsy Tarot stream. No problem at all, my darling. Listen, you're going to have to come back in the middle of next month and towards the end of next month and let us know what it meant. I do think you're in for a very learned month. I think you are going to discover things about yourself as you go through the month. I really do. Yes, right then. So, and also, if we do Tipsy Tarot, I was about to say I may have to share more stories, but the thing is, a lot of my stories are embargoed for my life story. What's it called? When you write it down, my biography. That's what I was trying to say. However, as Rufus did put out to me the other day, my memory is getting shocking. So luckily, the longer I go on, the longer I go on, the least likely it is, or the less likely it is, that I'm going to remember stories from my past, apart from the various celebrities that I met, drank with, partied with, and all of that. That's for a whole other stream. Well, this is it. You see, Holland, I wouldn't be able to write it myself because I cannot remember what I did yesterday, let alone what I did 20 years ago. There are stories out there, and that's all I'm going to say. So I would need a ghostwriter at least, and I would probably need somebody to go traipsing back through various social media accounts going back several decades, or a couple of decades at least. Anyway, shall we have another tarot reading? Do you want a tarot reading? Anybody on the stream, do you want a tarot reading? Because there are a couple of ways to do it. The first way is dead simple. You can go straight into the live chat right now and post your questions, starting with the word question. That will guarantee that you are in the hat. Your name is thrown into that their metaphysical, metaphorical hat. I nearly said sorting hat. 5 for an enemy. But yes, you absolutely probably could for the earlier part. Yes, up until about 15 years ago. You really could. You probably know more about my life than I know, to be honest with you. I'm not even joking, Neil. But yes, so if you want a tarot reading, pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, or send it through as a super chat. Either way, that will come through. If you send it through as a free reading, one of those will get chosen at random. If you send it through as a super chat, you will automatically queue jump and guarantee the next space. So then do one of those two things, and here is a handy recap. Yes, indeed. Right then, let's have a look. It looks as if we have a round with no questions in. So maybe I should start. Maybe I should start. Should start. You're gonna think I'm drunk already, but no. Maybe I should start sharing some of those stories. But I don't know. Do we still have Mariana? Do we still have Silver Birch? I think lots of people have gone. This is the thing, we're doing the late night streams. It's really hit and miss with the numbers of people, to be honest with you. It really is a can be very quiet stream, but that means it's a really good time for people to actually get those questions in, because it means you've got a much better chance of getting your question picked on a free round. So yes, but no, I do have to say I am absolutely loving this Unfolding Path deck. I've done a full deck review of it. I will, hopefully one of the mods can grab it. Hang on, I might be able to do it now actually. Hang on, I'm doing it, I'm grabbing it. And nope, I've just clicked on the wrong button entirely. Let me just grab that one. I did ask the question in the title, is this deck that I'm using today, is this too feminine? It's something that actually I think we probably need to have a whole discussion. I might have to do it and to start it on one of the streams, to be honest. Why won't that post in there? That's really interesting. Copy. Let me try that one more time, because there we go, I've got it now. This is, I think this is a really feminine deck, right? I think it's a very pretty deck. I think it's got a lot of feminine energy to it. And the way, let me, in fact, if I bring this in, look, if I show you what I mean, okay, now do go and check out the whole review if you want to see each and every one of the cards and to hear my full opinions. I've actually changed a few things. I've got a few different thoughts as I've been using this more. The Devil card, I think I said, oh, it's a sexy devil. It is, but it's a very androgynous look, and I didn't really pick that up the first time I looked at it. I saw this as maybe like a Bowie figure, so that sort of thin, sort of excuse me, the thin white Duke type image, all of that. And I thought, oh yeah, it's definitely a Bowie type feel. But this is very androgynous. This is very gender neutral. And the thing I am discovering with some of the modern decks is that they are very, very trying to get away from masculinized energy. So we've got the Hanged Man. In this case, it's the Hanged. Okay, so again, we take the feminine energy on board instead of the masculine. And even with the flowers at the top of the tree and the flowers around their neck, I know it's around their feet, I know it's symbolizing a different vibe for the Hanged Man, but certainly just happen to have the Hermit next. Again, a gender swapped Hermit. Now, there is absolutely nothing wrong with feminizing the decks. A lot of tarot decks, I mean, the Magician, again, very gender neutral. Very gender neutral. To me, this is feminine energy, but I'm also very highly aware that you add a few wrinkles on this face and you've basically got Iggy Pop. Do you know what I mean? But again, we've got that. I can understand, right? And this is, as a trans woman, you might get where I'm coming from, you might not, but I can understand men in, like, cisgender men within the tarot world feeling that they are being removed from tarot, and that sometimes it isn't for them. Now, there is always the argument that, well, you know, you've got plenty of historic decks that are very, very detailed about very, very detailed and very, very masculine leaning and has lots of white male privilege. But it just feels increasingly the decks that are coming out are edging so far to that side of let's make a gender balance that they're actually removing a lot of the masculine energy from the decks, which, you know, don't get me wrong, I am not at all sat here arguing poor men, but there is an element where I can kind of understand, like, we've got this central figure for the tower, and again, it's a woman. Lots of characters have been gender swapped from male to female. There aren't many of the deck that have been swapped from female to male. And that's what I find interesting, is that it increases the female representation in the deck. I also love the fact that we've got a much older than stereotypically depicted page. I love the fact that this is giving me fun granddad energy, right? This really is giving me fun granddad energy. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I can kind of see where some people are looking at decks like this, and both of the other two decks that I've reviewed in the last couple of, well, reviewed this week and today, where it's done the same thing, where they've got rid of all of the stereotypical male sort of roles and either made them very gender neutral or, you know, sort of gender swapped entirely. Which I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I think there should be a balance. I really do think there should be a balance. I love the fact that we have diversity in decks. I love the fact that we have different races, different abilities. I think I saw a wheelchair then somewhere on one of the cards. I love that. I love the fact that we've got an aged high priestess. Look how beautiful she is. She is stunningly beautiful. Look at the wisdom. Look at the life that she's led. Absolutely stunning card. I love that. But it just sort of, I don't know. It's a pattern I'm watching, okay, and it's a pattern that I'm seeing as I review more and more decks, and I think I just need to be aware of it. And I think that certainly from sort of some of the decks where the kings are now female or gender neutral, I just think there are so many strong masculine images, and my fear, I guess, right? My fear, I guess, is that we've gone down the road, and quite rightly, of looking at things and saying, why does everything have to have a white male essence to it? You know, why are all these cards white men traditionally? And I understand that we want to, you know, separate that and move it along and show the world as it is and have a lot of diversity. But sometimes we do seem to be within the tarot we seem to be stamping down that masculine energy and swapping it over for either gender fluid or gender neutral energy, which I am all for representation, all for representing within the deck, or taking off that, or subverting the masculine side with just the feminine. And I think that's missing out on the whole thing, because for me, tarot is about the diversity of the world of the tarot. It should reflect the world that we come from. And so it should have gender diversity. It should have some men in it. There should be men in the decks. And all right, you know, I think, again, let's not have all the men depicted as buff masculine stereotypes. Let's have gender neutral cards. Let's have more sort of, for want of a better word, twinkie type male figures. But let's also have the bears. Let's also have a big husky bloke, you know, Viking type energy coming through. It doesn't have to be in every card, is what I'm saying. And increasingly for me, tarot decks are starting to go down that road. And trust me, there are decks that I have bought that are in no way, shape or form depicted as queer or feminist leaning or anything else like that, that have done all sorts of weird and wonderful modern takes on the cards that are then very, very, very feminized. Put it that way. Anyway, enough of a rant. What do you all think? Let me have a look in the comments. It has it's got a very, very gentle energy. It's, do you know what? This feels like, where the fifth spirit can be a bit blunt, this feels like it's kind. So the fifth spirit feels like, you know, that friend, and I always say it's your best mate, that basically says, oi, get out of bed, you lazy sod. You've been in there 3 days. Let's go for a drink. This feels like that friend that comes around when you need a shoulder to cry on. Do you know what I mean? This feels like this is the friend who has your back and is there when you need that emotional support. The fifth spirit feels like that's your friend when you need a kick up the arse. Do you know what I mean? That's the different vibe. That's the different vibe of the two decks. It's a pretty deck. It seems like a very kind deck. Yeah, exactly. It's feminine but not female. No, I agree. I agree. It is, excuse me, it's more female than male, and it's quite feminine even in the male figures as some of them are depicted. So yes, you're interested in how truthful it is. Do you know what? I've been playing with it this last week, and also the tarot deck. I know, right? I know, right? No matter how old I get, there's always a little 13-year-old snickering behind me in the back of my head going, you just said this. It feels very honest in a very kind, soft-spoken kind of way. Do you know what I mean? It's like, whereas the fifth spirit has that truthful energy that is like, that is that giving you a kick up the bum, this is the deck before that. So this is the friend that you need when you're still going through it. The fifth spirit is the one, once you've had a little while to process and once you've, you know, then started wallowing, that's when the fifth spirit comes in. This feels like it's very much the immediate after effect of something, if that makes sense. As a man, you feel very drawn to tarot decks featuring more feminine depictions. You wonder if there are decks that only portray men and masculinity in the cards. Traditionally, most of the tarot decks have been very masculine oriented. They've been very emperor heavy. So you would have things like the Hanged Man. You would definitely have a heterosexual couple in the Lovers, but you would also have the Hermit would be male. Obviously the Hierophant, because you can't possibly have a high priestess. We've got that in the tarot deck, but the Magician would be male, the Fool would be male. All of the non-gendered kind of names, a lot of those would be male figures, except for something like Strength, where it's always the maiden with the lion. I have yet to see, no, actually, the Crow's Magic deck of all decks, that Strength card was a very masculine buff drawing of a male body with a tiger's head. That is the one thing I remember from the deck. So most decks are very masculine heavy. So yeah, they do lay off the symbolism that the older decks relied on. They do, but there needs to be a bit of a balance for me. And it just feels the last few decks, as I say, the last few decks I've been buying that I'm drawn to because of the wondrous imagery, it's like they've all gone that way too far, and it feels like there's going to be a kickback. You know what I mean? And I don't want there to be scary male, like all male, scary circle jerking decks. That's not kind of what I want either. You prefer feminine depictions, but that might be because you're more visually attracted to women. Yeah. Now I've got you interested in finding a super masculine deck. I wonder if there has been one created with a gay male gaze. Not full of just men. There is the gay tarot is very LGBTQ IA plus, actually. It's very, yeah, it's very across the rainbow. The rainbow tarot deck that I've got somewhere here, because I've moved them all, might be up there actually. I can't remember. This is my list to review that I still haven't got to because I've been buying new ones. And the queer tarot deck there, they are again more balanced, more nuanced. There's a lot more gender diversity, but equally they're through a queer eye rather than through a gay male perspective. There used to be a gay tarot deck that was just stereotypically hot male bodies, basically. So yeah, there was, and depending on what you think of as hot male bodies, there was a couple of more burly types, and everybody else was muscle bound. Boring after a while, isn't it? Anyway, Jay, hello all. Sorry I'm late. I got distracted with a late night dance party. Now I want to hear about that. Anyway, that sounds good. Monica, good evening, my darling, a new subscriber. I'm going to open up a free round very, very soon, my darling. The Gods and Titans deck is a very masculine deck. Yes, it is. I always forget that because it's not one that's... Look at me bitching about the fact that the decks these days are too feminized. And then I'm sat here going, yeah, didn't like that one. Too masculine. Gosh, it was through your headphones, one person dance party. Okay, that's fine. I want to go to okay. If you find any good ones out there on the interwebs that are still in print, let me know and I will buy a macho homoerotic deck. There's bound to be. There's probably more on the indie scene on the Kickstarters than in the mass market ones, to be honest with you. I think it is time though. By the way, Jay, I want to go to one of the silent discos. So if you ever see a silent disco coming up, if it's a silent goth disco, all the better. That's what I want. That's what I want. I've never been. You know the ones. If you don't know what a silent disco is, or silent rave, you basically it's this. Hang on, let me show you. It's basically this, right? You have lots of people that are like this, and what you hear is this. All you hear is people shuffling around on their chairs, well, on the floor, not on their chairs. Because all the music is played through the headphones. So you've got a whole dance floor full of people. Oh, just doing that. Just that. Anyway, shall we have another free round? I think we should. Let's get another tarot reading off of the ground. So then it is that time. Is my booking. So then if you would like a free reading, do please go ahead. Pop your question into that there chat, starting with the word question. If you want to guarantee that you are guarantee the next spot, you can always go ahead and send your reading through in the form of a super chat. That's the only way to guarantee your reading is up next. So basically, to recap, If you pop it into the live chat now, you may get selected at random. If you aren't, please select and copy your question. Hold it off till the next round, okay? The person selected is selected totally at random or something like that. Yes, indeed. Right then. Let's have a look in that there. Oh, hang on. I've got a message from the keeper of the questions, Monica. Okay, Monica, let me have a look. I don't actually know who is on at the moment. It's telling me there's more people on than I've seen commenting in the doodah. There we go. Monica, hello, my darling. Question. Let me just take this. Let me take this banner off for you, and I will, 1 second, I will star your question so I can find it. Just before I go off, Jay, go to bed. Go to bed. You've got enrollment in the morning. Go to bed now. Go to bed, Jay. Do as Auntie Lisa says, go to bed. I've got to get up in the morning as well. So, go to bed. 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 Right then. Let's have a look. So, Monica, my darling, this is your question. You're going to be up in 15 seconds time.
We have a super strong connection here. Right. Oh my God!
Okay, Monica. So, as always, we are going to ring your bell to cleanse the space, and we're going to bring in Wispy, the air elemental dragon that I work with. I've just realized those cards were round the wrong way. You don't want to see what you're getting before you get it, do you? Nope. It's like birthday cakes and wedding nights. Yeah, you don't want to see what you're getting before. Oh, dear. Can it still be called dad jokes if it's effectively a mum asking them? Is just for asking that question for no reason, asking for a friend, asking for a friend. Right then, let's have a look. So, Wispy, my darling, Wispy, Monica would like to know what is coming up for me in the next 15 days. So, the next couple of weeks, that's what we want to know. So, between now and the middle of September, Monica. We've had some cards throw themselves away. That's fine. It's not a clarifying card because it didn't spin. As soon as I say that, we get your clarifying card. Right then, what is a clarifying card? Well, it does exactly what it says on the tin. This card will clarify the rest of the cards. Hang on, we've got this camera is right there. We go. That's a bit better. If I get it at the wrong point, it wobbles with the fan that I've got in the room. But this clarifies the meaning of the rest of the cards. Okay, so then let's have a wee look. Okay, so the Knight of Wands is your clarifying card. So what is the Knight of Wands, and does it make a difference if it's upside down? Well, yes, it does. It's called reversed. Now, the Knight of Wands itself, the Knights are, for me, they are that teenage rebellious energy. Okay, so they are that energy of the deck that they're the energy of the deck that acts first, thinks later. They ask forgiveness rather than permission, and it's the sort of character in the deck who just rushes in. You can see they almost look like they're in a race, don't they? A baton, what's it called? A relay race where they're holding the baton. But this is actually the wand, and they they look really happy, don't they? They look really joyous. Now, the Knight of Wands, Wands is all about your sense of security, your sense of self-esteem, self-confidence, that sort of thing. So it's a really positive card for if it was this way up. It is reversed, which means you need to watch yourself this coming couple of weeks, okay? Don't jump in where angels fear to tread. Don't jump without looking, right? The famous line, out of the frying pan into the fire. This is something you need to keep in mind this next couple of weeks, okay? Because you could quite happily jump and then find out that the grass is not only not greener on the other side of the fence, but it's actually on fire. Okay, so just be mindful. But let's see what the main three cards have got to say. So that's what we're looking for. This clarifies the rest of the cards. Okay, so it's like a lens that we look through the rest of the cards through. Look at the rest of the cards through. So where you are right now, okay, as you're going into September, what is the energy around you at the moment? We've got the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so a little bit of financial element going on. The Two of Pentacles. Pentacles is work, career, finances. And you can see this person seems to be juggling these balls or levitating these balls. And you can see we've got the magical energy spinning around and it's forming that infinity loop. Okay. But this is reversed. So there might be an element at the moment where you are either juggling work projects or juggling your finances a little bit. So just bear that in mind. It doesn't feel like it's the most positive place to be because it's reversed. It feels like you're having to almost, what is it? They say, rob Peter to pay Paul. Does that make sense? I think that's the expression. So what's going on under the surface? We've got the Queen of Cups. So Cups is your emotional suit, okay? Cups is all about your emotions. So it's your feelings, how you know, the people you love, the people you're passionate about. The Queen of Cups could either be, again, an older version, an older woman in your life, a mother figure, on that sort of level, aunt, even grandmother. It's got that sort of maternal vibe to it. Or it could be a person in authority above you in the workplace. Now, the thing is, the Queen of Cups is all about loving, compassionate, nurturing energy. And if this is what you need to know and it's reversed, it could be that you can't express this at the moment. Okay, so it's maybe suggesting that for the next few weeks you can't be the generous one. You can't be the one that helps others out. You can't be the one that, when somebody says, "Oh, Monica, my rent's due and I'm really struggling," you can't be the one that says, "Oh, I'll tell you what, I can lend you that $60, £60, 60 euros, whatever it is. I can lend that to you and you can get it back to me by Friday." But you can't help. This is one of those situations, my darling, where for a couple of weeks you need to go against your better judgment and not try and help everybody else. This is where you need to help yourself before others. Okay, this is in what you need to know. So this is really, really important. If it is somebody within the workplace, it's somebody that is trying to help, doing so in a difficult way. I don't think this is, because of the way these two cards interact. You've got the Two of Pentacles here with you shuffling the money, and then you've got this element here where it feels very much like it just feels like you can't be everybody else's safety net because you haven't got it at the moment. Okay, and it's almost like you've lent to so many people owe you favors, owe you money, owe you gifts back, or whatever it is, that it's got to the point where your pot is empty. Do you know what I mean? Your pot is empty. And again, the Knight of Wands, that night energy, this is where you need to rein in that impulse, to help that impulse to jump forward. You need to rein that back, okay? and look after your own security. Put yourself number one when it comes to sort of financial support. And look, we've got the Knight of Pentacles coming in as well. So again, definitely a financial thing, definitely this impulse to help everybody else before you help yourself. But the thing about the Knight of Pentacles is actually quite good at growing things. You can see it's almost like this person's starting a new job and they're taking the plant to go and sit on their desk. Do you know what I mean? They've got that connection to the earth, because Pentacles has the earth element connection to it. Cups is water, wands is fire, and swords is air. But you've got, literally, look, where we've got cards that are about you jumping in and supporting others and juggling those finances. They're reversed, not good finances, not being able to jump in and support, not being able to nurture people, and the fact that that probably breaks your heart, but you're wanting to help and you're wanting to give and you're wanting to. However, this is not the time for you to do that. And the one card that we've got that comes in and says this is your future position is the Knight of Pentacles. And this is the person that is actually, as far as the knights go, this is quite a stable knight, because this knight, not only is it the only upright card in the reading, but it's also a knight that is growing and adding to your pot, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, Monica. Listen, whatever's happening, tighten your belt, see how things go into September. When you get midway through the month, have a little review. Have you managed to put enough money aside to claw back, to fill some of those debt potholes? Have you managed to claw back a bit of money because you weren't helping, Tom, Dick and Harry out in the street? Sometimes, as hard as it is, if you're not able to help, and if helping will put you in a worse situation, sometimes you have to put number one first. Not forever, just temporarily. I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. And yeah, I really, you can't hold the cards reversed, my darling. Let me show you, because they've got the same backs. So I don't know which way up any of the cards are, right? And if I show you them, some are reversed, some are upright, reversed, upright. That's what a tarot deck should look like. Okay, that's what they should look like, my darling. They should look like some are upright. There you go. See, look at that. You've got upright, reversed, 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 upright. That's just how tarot decks go. And you'll see me when I shuffle, quite often I will take half of the deck and I will rotate it like so. So that, again, now we've got these ones which were reversed are now upright, and upright, and upright. And that one, is also upright, actually. That one is now reversed. That one is now upright. Reversed. Do you know what I mean? So it's like reversed, 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 upright, reversed. Do you know what I mean? So a good tarot reader can read reverse cards as well as upright cards, because they change. A beginner will just read them all as upright, okay, and they will pull them out and they will turn them up the right way, and they will make sure when they do the shuffling that each card is up facing the right way, but it changes the meaning. So the way that tarot works is there are 78 cards. Upright, they have one meaning. Reversed, they have a different meaning. So if this was upright, it will be saying help everybody, nurture people, embrace people, send that loving energy out. You've got lots of, like, whilst you are juggling finances, it's going in your favor. There's an infinity loop here around the money. This is good times. Good times are starting to get better. This is a good time to help other people out, because we've got that loving, nurturing energy. So you see how it's different. It's the same card, but instead of it being a go on and do this, this is really good, express this, it's saying now is not the time to express this. Now is the time to do the exact opposite, or now is the time to listen to what other people are saying. And depending on where the cards fall in the spread, they get a different meaning as well. So if this card, this is in the what you need to know, right? It's like, this is a good time to do this. If it was in the where you are, right? If it was there and this one was there, right? Just that change, it says where you are right now, you're giving to everybody around you. You're giving all that you've got. You're supportive and helping everybody. But behind the scenes, it's leading you to financial crisis. It's leading you to having to juggle money. Do you see how it changes the meaning? And it changes that nuance. Essentially, it's the same card, whether it's there or there, but the fact that the position changes the way that the card is read. And that's how tarot works, my darling. Each card has a different meaning, all 78 cards, and then they have another different meaning when they're reversed. And then depending on what spread you use, depending on how they come in that spread, and depending on what position they're in and whether they're upright in that position or reversed, it changes the meanings again. It's always going to be, so that card in this deck, that Queen of Cups in this deck, is always going to be about nurturing, warm, loving, helping, supportive energy, because that's what the Queen brings, but that's also what this person brings to the deck. Okay, this particular image of the Queen of Cups, other images in other decks will give a very different feeling to that Queen of Cups, and maybe it will bring out the regality element of it. Maybe it will bring out the element of the Queen that is better than everybody else. She's worth more than everybody else. She deserves more than everybody else because she's dressed in finery. She's dressed in gold and furs. That isn't this Queen. Do you know what I mean? So every deck has a different, slightly different language to it. Every card within that deck has a different depiction. Whether it's upright or reversed has a different depiction, and the position it lands when you do a spread has a different meaning as well. So that's why good tarot readers, and I do consider myself a good tarot reader. After 29 years, I think I've earned the right to say that I am a good tarot reader. Good tarot readers will take all of that into account when they're doing their readings, and you'll see, oh, you just said the Queen, in your case, you just said the Queen meant don't do this. Well, hang on, now it's over here in a 7-card spread. Why does that mean that you should be doing this? Well, because this is now the outcome of all of this, and the outcome is saying you'll get through all of these steps and all of this journey to get to the point where you have that loving energy to give to others. So yeah, hopefully that explains that. Hopefully that explains, my darling, that it isn't me holding the cards in reverse. So yeah, that's why if anybody's watching, that's why I went on that rant. I meant to click on that. I meant to click on that and I didn't pull it to the front, but there you go. That is hopefully. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Hopefully that makes sense. I've just had loads of these things fall all over my desk. You know, these things that, you know, when you're like putting up a cable or something, and this is the thick cable that I have my Ethernet run into this room. So when I say to you all that, look, if the internet's acting up, it isn't me, it is the blooming, because we're Ethernet connected, Ethernet cable connected, it really isn't me that's doing that. All right, let me just chuck all of those. I've got loads of them. This is when I say we're starting to sort the room out, starting to tack the cables around the room and everything. This is why. Hold on a second, everybody. I just need to make sure. Knowing me, I will be sat here later on or sat here tomorrow, kick off my Crocs while I'm editing, and I'll just nip to the loo or nip and get a drink, and all of these blooming things keep falling off. I've just seen your message. 78 erect members are too much, not something you're used to saying. I don't think I've ever said that in my life. And yeah. Right then, so let me have a look. Country Love Homestead. Hello, my darling. You've changed the back end of your name. I'm sure you have. Hello, my darling. I hope you are very well, my love. Let me have a look. Let me have a look. Oh, I think Jay's gone to bed. Good. Night, Jay. Night, night. There you go. Look, yep. Strange how the cards will come up reversed, even if all the cards were sort of, yeah. Do you know what? I've done that, Patricia. I have done that where I've shuffled a brand new deck and I've been shuffling them for the first time, and then randomly I'll lay 5 or 6 cards down and I'll get a reverse one. And I'm like, how did that happen? How did that happen? Oh, no problem, my darling. Oh, no problem, Monica. And don't forget, I don't know whether I mentioned it, but I love your pink Tinkerbell. It looks very lovely. Yeah, look, by giving all your energy away, you're not able to save any for yourself, and you are the number one priority. I say it every time, don't I? I say it every time. There's a reason why when you're on an aircraft, they tell you put your own mask on first in case of an emergency, like the window blows out, especially if you're on a Boeing airplane. Apparently that happens every other flight. But your mask comes down, you put it on first, and then you deal with the person next to you, right? It's the exact opposite of what to do if you find yourself in an alien movie and the face huggers are around. Then you let them jump on everybody else before you, and you've got a chance of survival. I think that's how it works, and it's the reverse on aeroplanes. But yes, anyway, right. I have no idea what I'm saying. It's 1:20 in the morning here in the UK. That sounded so much like radio, didn't it? Should we just go? It's 1:20 a.m. here in the UK, and now a little bit of David Bowie. That's what I used to have to do. It's what I used to do on radio, or it would normally be. It's 1:24 a.m. here in. Well, I'll say the UK. It's 1:24 a.m. Sorry, it's 1:21 a.m. here in the UK at ukradio.com. Don't forget, we've got some lovely David Bowie, a 3 in the row by David Bowie coming up straight after this. And please don't forget, I am live all the way through till 3 a.m. with the late, super late, nobody's listening, super late, Insomniac special. You can ring through on 0111 111 1111 and speak to me live. We'll have that David Bowie triple play straight after these messages from our sponsors. Here's 27 minutes of adverts. Because that's what would happen. I never did overnights. I did morning show and I did the afternoon show. An occasional drive time. Like if he was sick, I would jump into the drive time. You're listening to 96.7 AM on the you're listening to 96.7 I'm out of practice. You're listening to 96 point something AM. No, shut up, Lisa. You're listening to 96.7 FM here on Beyond Authentic Radio. This is the night shift. Coming up, we're going to explain to you how you can reset your VCR in less than 3 simple steps. In fact, it's 2.5. Before that, though, let's go straight across to Fiona with the news. That's normally what would happen. You don't have news breaks when you're on overnights, unless somebody dies, unless a royal family member or prime minister or president or somebody like that dies, in which case you shut everything off, all the automation comes out, you shut everything down, and you go to a CD, or if you are in studio, you basically press emergency B and it plays. That was a ballad by Adele. Here's Sam Smith with a ballad. That was Sam Smith. Here's Kobe Richards with another ballad, because they would have to keep all of the upbeat music until anybody knew what was happening. But anyway, I don't know why I keep talking about nonsense that has nothing to do with tarot. Shall we have another tarot reading? I think we should. We could do a late night snooze fest. This is the Insomnia cast for all you late night listeners. And then you for all you late night lovers out there, here's Lionel Richards. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Lionel Richie, not Lionel Richards. You used to work at an all-light petrol station and used to have the radio on. You used to like the night shows. It's when you get the presenter that would be like this on a morning show, and they'll be like, and now coming up, oh, we've got some amazing news. Did you know that Pot Noodle is now doing a sweet corn flavor? That is right. Your favorite snack has now got even cornier. That's right. Sweet corn pot noodle. Do you believe it? Do you believe it? Oh, noises, everything. Oh, yes. No, you don't believe it either. No, neither do I. Isn't that shocking? Yes, it is. And then they'll end up doing an occasional night shift, and it would be something along the lines. Have I got any buttons? I don't think I've got any casual buttons. But it would just turn into something where it goes. And now, for all you late night insomniacs out there, if you're trying to sleep, we're going to be playing you the 3 Snooze Snapchat. The 3 Snooze Snap chart here on Beyond Authentic Radio 96.7 FM. And they do that voice. But what you don't know, this is a secret, it would all be automated. So they were all automated shows. The night shows are all automated, or they used to be when 10 years since I was in a radio studio, they were all automated. So it was basically a glorified playlist, and you would have little bits of pre-roll. So in the same way that I can go ahead and press this, there would be little automated clips that would come in, and it would literally be, hi, I'm Lisa Lee. This is the Insomniac Hour on Beyond Authentic Radio 96.7 FM. And they'd just be little clips, and it would say something like, so a song would end, right? So pretend this is the end of the song. That was Britney Spears there. Coming up for you, we've got another all-time classic. And they would be pre-recorded, so I wouldn't know, nobody would know what Britney Spears song would play, but there would be a Britney into classic, it would be called. And so you'd have a Britney Spears song, the little loop sound would come in, that was Britney Spears, here's an all-time classic. And then it would play a song from like the 80s or the 90s or the 70s or whatever, and then out of that you would go, again, pre-recorded would be something like, it would say something like, if you like classic music, don't forget to join Mike every Thursday evening at 7 p.m. here on Beyond Authentic FM. And then it would clip to a jingle with, hi, I'm Mike, and here is blah, 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 blah. We play nothing but the all-time classics. Every single time. So yeah, I love it. I miss radio. Hello, Lighthouse Dreamer. Good evening to Lighthouse Dreamer. This is Beyond Authentic Radio on 96.7. I'm just talking nonsense. It's one of those streams. Anyway, if anybody would like a tarot reading, please make sure to get your question in the next 30 seconds. Don't forget, start your question with the word question and get it in the next 30 seconds. One of you lucky people will get yourself a free tarot reading. The next round is open, so get your question in, starting with the word question, just about now. Yep, they still do that, Holland. They still do that, where they will record and edit, and all of the songs will be edited, and they would normally come in 12-minute blocks. so that you had 12 minutes, 3 minutes of ads, 12 minutes, 3 minutes of ads, and most of the jingles would be pre-mixed into that 12 minutes, or roughly 12 minutes. So yeah, that was absolutely something that we did as well. We also again, who have I got on the question? I think only one question came in then. So Lighthouse Dreamer, my darling, hello, you are going to get the next question. We're going to have a look at that for you. But I'll tell you what else happened, Holland, on again, this was local radio. So not allowed to do it anymore. But we would do as live interviews or as live things. So basically, I would go down to some event with my little dictating machine and my microphone with the cube, with the radio station's logo on the cube, and I would go, so then, hang on, look, I'd go, so, I don't know why I'm doing that. I've got a microphone here, but I'd be like, so then, Bob, welcome to, welcome to the, I don't know, Leeds fundraising fair for guide dog bicycles, because we all know that the guide dogs need a day off from being guide dogs and they like nothing more than being on a bicycle. Bob, tell me, how did you discover your love of guide dogs on bicycles? Get the soundbite. And I go, oh, that's really interesting. Well, we've got lots of fun events down here for all the family. Don't forget, I'll be here for the next couple of hours. So if you see me walking around, come and say hello. But for now, it's over to Holland in the studio. The next bit I'd record would be somewhere else. That's right, Holland. I'm still down here. And you know what? I've just had to go on the whirligig. That's right. The whirligig. I know that means it's a washing line that spins around in the wind. That's exactly what this funfair ride is. It's exactly how I felt. It was like a pair of damp knickers blowing in the wind. Can I say knickers on air, Holland? He just did. Anyway, back to you. Don't forget, everybody. If you want to join me, I'm down here for the next 3 hours of fun, all the way through until 1 p.m. See you, Holland. I wish you were here. I will. I'll see you soon. And there'd be a little bit of predetermined interview where Holland would say something like, or in the studio would say something like, I wish I was there. And my bit would go, I bet you do, Holland. Anyway, I'm done. And literally you'd be there for half an hour, record all these little bits. And during the afternoon show or during the breakfast show, it would keep cutting back to, and here's Lisa down at the ... fun fair for dogs. Honest. That's what we used to do. And then that all got made illegal after people were faking phone-ins on British TV. And you're not allowed to do as live anymore, but we used to. Anywho, nobody needed to know. Lighthouse Dreamer, let's have a look at your question, my darling. So hopefully you're still with us. Hopefully you haven't run away, because we're a little bit all over the place today, but it's a fun stream. It's late night for us here in the UK. It's 1:30 and gone in the morning. So please do forgive us that. But anyway, I'm going to do your reading straight after Lisa with a quick recap on what we're doing here.
We have a super strong connection here, right? Oh my God!
So there we go. Oh, it's a strange angle, isn't it? Right, there we go. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Will the Aries reach out? Let's go back to the main task at hand. So there we go. We cleanse the area and we bring in Wispy, the air elemental dragon. So Lighthouse Dreamer, Wispy. Lighthouse Dreamer wants to know, will the Aries reach out? Oops. Also, can I just point out, I now know that TY just here means thank you. I get that now. I used to read it as Ty. Took me the longest time to work out. The longest time. And I'm not even talking like I wasn't even that particularly old. Hang on, I've got cards all over the show. That's my doing, because I'm trying to do 3 different things and failing at all of them. But it wasn't, honestly, it wasn't even that close. Thank you, Neil. It wasn't even like, I was far older than I should have been when I realized that Ty wasn't like some young hip person way of signing off, you know, like, hi, Ty. Don't know what I thought it was, or short for Tyrone, or short for Tiberius, or short for whatever. Nope. It means thank you. Yeah. ROFL out. I because of my brain, I always read as Rolf. So my brain goes, who's Rolf? Oh no. Roll on floor, laughing. Waffle. So yeah, I always have to stop. So yeah, do excuse me. Anyway, Wispy. We're all over the place today. All over the place. Oh no, hang on. That was one card, wasn't it? That was one card that jumped. Sorry, Wispy. I was ignoring you completely there. So we've got the Queen of Wands has jumped out. So what does the Queen of Wands mean? And what is it about? A clarifying card. This deck likes its clarifying cards. I will say that. So the Queen of Wands. Wands is all about security and confidence. And you can see this queen is not shy at all. She's not backwards and coming forward. This one, look at the throne. We've got this gold inlaid lions here leading up to this. I'm not quite sure what that is. It almost looks like it's probably supposed to be flames, actually, because the wands is the fire element. Huge, monumental, oversized throne that she's got here, even though she's quite a petite queen. But look at the hairstyle, very elaborate hair, very over the top dress, with the off the shoulder moment. She wants to be seen. She's not just holding this regal wand. She's added the sunflowers at the base here. And then look, we've got this beautiful pussycat sat there just happily purring away to itself on her lap. This is a very confident queen here. The thing is, it's come up reversed. Now, this is not necessarily a hugely negative thing, Lighthouse Dreamer, but it does suggest that maybe the confidence that's on show is just that. It's just on show. It's little more than set dressing. Okay, so just bear that in mind with the cards that are read, because this is really suggesting to me that if the Aries does reach out, that the confidence may well not be quite what it seems, or this could be your confidence. Again, I don't know anybody's gender, but it could be your confidence if you normally rock this wanting to be seen, this very peacocky type attitude that the queen is displaying here. It may well be that that is, again, not much more than surface deep. So just be aware of that. Right then, as always, when we get the card that pops out of the deck, the clarifying card, let's go ahead and do the drop. And let's have a little wee look. So we've got where you are right now. We've got the page. And it's the Page of Swords. So swords is trouble and strife, hurdles, and lessons that need to be learned. It's interesting in this position because it's saying that this is a youthful energy. So I don't know whether the page is youthful or whether you are youthful. Pages are all about learning because they're so young. Their innocence, and that innocence can be mislaid. It can be corrupted, for want of a better word, but it can also lead to innocent mistakes. Okay, so it could well be that somebody has made a mistake because we've got the sword, and now they're having to deal with that issue. But let's carry on. We've got the Empress reversed. This is in the what you need to know. So the Empress is one of my favorite cards as standard. In recent times, she's depicted as pregnant or nursing a young child, whereas historically, it was less about her being a mother and more about her being the matriarch, if that makes sense. So the woman in control, the woman as the head of the empire. Here, she's kind of almost diluted down to being a woman with child. And again, that's not denigrating women with children. I think it's the most amazing thing, you know, how life is grown inside a human. It's the most amazing thing in the world. But the Empress herself has more than just that element of being pregnant or not being pregnant. So don't think of this as being any indicator as to any pregnancy in the cards or anything like that. There is nothing here with the Empress that should be taken that way. Okay, it's a bit like the death card doesn't mean death. The Empress, when she's with child, doesn't indicate that anybody is going to be falling pregnant or any issues with that. I have to make that clear in certain decks, especially when it's reversed. Okay, so if there is any issue here around anybody being pregnant or conceiving, this does not indicate anything, the fact that she's reversed. Okay, I just have to really make that point, because somebody did point out to me that it could be construed that way, and I don't ever want to leave anybody, you know, worried about something like that with the Empress card. Anyway, so she's talking about that power of the throne, being the leader of the nation, being the controller of the empire. And she's talking about abundance. She's talking about, yes, that matriarchal energy of looking after all of her people, not just her children, all of her people across the empire. So it's a card that, when you're looking at a question like this, okay, you've got to wonder if this is what you need to know. Is the Aries too busy dealing with all of the issues that the Empress has to deal with, dealing with all of those concerns, all of those different demands on her time and her attention? Is she dealing with all of that and therefore isn't able to reach out, or perhaps no longer wants to reach out? I don't know. But let's look at what is happening in the future. Okay, so now we've got the King of Pentacles reversed. So let's look. The King of Pentacles is obviously a very wealthy individual. He is the king, and he is the king of money, because Pentacles relate to finances, career, work, things like that. But this again is reversed. So there is an element here about an authority figure with money, perhaps oh, you see, it's not just money. It's not just money. It's also growth energy. Will the Aries reach out? My gut instinct with these three cards, with that clarifying card, is no. Because whatever you've done, I think this is you, because this is where you are. Whatever you've done, whatever mistake was made, the Empress is perhaps choosing to get bogged down in all of the details of running the empire, so to get bogged down in all of the demands for her time. And with the King of Pentacles being reversed, again, it's not that the king has finished his role. He can't just sit back and count his money, because it's the king is in his counting house counting out his money. He can't do that yet. The job is not yet done because it's reversed. So whatever this energy is, the people in the people here in power, which is an empress, a queen, a king, and a queen overseeing, they are all reversed. And you, as a lowly page, still have to deal with this mistake. So I do not think, my darling, that the Aries will reach out. And again, you've got different gender depictions here. So again, it doesn't really matter at this point who identifies which way, whether, you know, one's male, one's female, one's gender neutral, whatever, non-binary. It doesn't matter in this reading. This is you. This is the Aries. No, they're not going to reach out. And I think I don't think they're ever going to reach out unless you deal with this. Because the way it feels, my darling, is that they are using all of this reversal energy, if you like, all of this need for doing other things. They're using all of this as an excuse or as a reason to not reach out, because I don't think that they are. I don't think you've changed from whatever you did here. I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. It doesn't feel great, to be honest with you. It really doesn't feel great. I think that whatever was done, the Aries is not in any way, shape or form ready to forgive. And they're just going to keep busying themselves with whatever their daily tasks are. I hope that helps, my darling. I'm so sorry it's not the news that that you were possibly hoping for. But again, I can only give you what the cards give me. And yes, it is in a roundabout kind of way, but it feels like for you the best thing would be to move on. And I hope that helps. At least that gives you some answers, my darling. I don't think they're going to reach out to you. And yeah, with that, that is your question, my darling. Thank you ever so much for asking it. Sorry that I couldn't be more positive. It's as I say, it's such a nuanced deck, this deck. It really, really is. Let me have a look in that there chat. Yep. Unique. My darling, that's a question. Hold off, my darling. We'll be asking a question. Oh, I can see that Holland's put it into the chat there. Well, I'll be opening up another round shortly. I've got time for one more reading, I think. Yeah, this is it, Lighthouse Dreamer. This is why, particularly, I don't like depictions like this one, because when it's reversed, it doesn't mean what that can be interpreted as. It really doesn't. It's like the Devil card or the Death card. They don't mean what it says on the tin. And as much as I love the idea of nurturing energy and maternal energy and all of that matriarchal vibe, I really wish we didn't get cards that are depicted, Empresses depicted quite this way, because again, it does have that sort of vibe to it, really. But anyway, I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really do. Yeah, no more super chats. I'm going to change the doodah right now. Let's have a look at that one. Bonk, just up there, like bonk, 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 bonk. So then, I've now lost the comment. There we go, Patricia. There we go. Fantastic. What was I responding to? I can't remember what I was going to say now. Probably something more about radio. Anyway, let's ignore that. If you want the last tarot spot, how would you guarantee that here on Beyond Authentic? Well, there's two ways. You can guarantee the final spot by sending your question in the form of a super chat. That will no, please don't, actually. Please don't send it as a super chat. Just put it in the live chat. Put it in the live chat. Pop your question in once I press the magic air horn sound. There you go. It is the last chance to get your reading tonight. So stick it into that there live chat, starting with the word question, and one of the people asking the question will get picked at random. This is probably the ideal time. If you haven't had a question answered tonight already, this is going to be the ideal time, because there's not many on, and this is the final space on tonight's stream. So if you want to get yourself that final space and get your question asked, pop it into the live chat right now, starting with the word question. If there aren't any more questions, then we'll have an early night. I know, right? 10 to 2 in the morning is classed as an early night, but you know what I mean. So if you haven't had a chance to get a question asked, go ahead and do it now. Okay, right then, let me take that banner off, and it looks like, yep, we've got one question in. So Firefly Magic, well done to you. You have got the last slot of this evening, my darling, and your question is coming up just about 15 seconds time. Yes, indeed. So Firefly Magic, you're asking, what will joining this new temporary team bring or offer for me? Okay, let's have a look. I bet my neighbours are glad that's the last time I'm going to be ringing the bell at 2 o'clock in the morning. So then, let's have a look. Wispy, Firefly Magic would like to know, what will joining this new temporary team bring or offer them? So what is going to come with this new temporary team, this temporary joining of this temporary team temporarily in the temporal plane? What could possibly come their way? That's what we want to know. So then let me have a look. Don't forget, everybody, we are back on the YouTubes on Sunday evening, actually at 7 p.m. UK time, and then we're back on Tuesday at 7 p.m. and next Thursday again at the wee hours for a late shift. Let me just click the magic button. There we go. So then here we go. Firefly Magic. Let's cut. It doesn't really matter because those two are from the top pile and they go on the bottom pile. So it's the top cards we read. So then let's have a look, Wispy. What is happening for this new temporary team temporarily in the temporal plane? Ooh, Queen of Swords coming up in where you are. The Six of Pentacles in what you need to know. And the Sun reversed in the outcome, possible future, the future outcome, the future opportunity. So the Queen of Swords, she's quite I always just say that the Queen of Swords can be quite sort of cold-faced, but she looks like there's a little wry smile there. She knows something, doesn't she? She knows the secrets. I love the Raven. She's got her secrets, but also look how she is wearing that dress. That is a dress that could wear you. She is wearing the heck out of it. She's also wearing the heck out of this throne. Look at that throne. That is a large, important throne, and she is sat there dead center with her legs crossed, showing some thigh, showing some cleavage, absolutely knowing that she holds all the cards. The Queen of Swords. Swords is all about the lessons in life, the hurdles, the challenges, the obstacles. That is what the Swords card brings for me. It brings all of that energy. Okay, so I don't know, Firefly, what gender you are, how you represent yourself, all of these things, but this feels like a person in power. So I don't know whether you are joining a team with a managerial position in place, or whether you are joining as that managerial position. But it feels like that boss person is going to take, is going to take no prisoners and is 100% ready to take charge. This is not a boss I would want to cross. The thing about the Queen of Swords is that she is just about fair, as long as it suits her to be, but she expects every I to be dotted, every T to be crossed. She expects every single thing to be done by the book. That is the energy that the Queen of Swords brings. And if she doesn't, because she's that demanding of herself, she demands the same in others. Okay, so if this is you, you're going to go well. If this is the boss of the team that you're going into, make sure that you go in there being prepared to make every single thing correct, not so much as a spelling mistake, not using the wrong there. This is, you need to be on your game with this one. And if you are, she will reward you. She absolutely will reward you. It's a learning curve. But if you play by her rules and you do the things the way that she expects them done, and you finish everything and do everything that you're expected to, she will absolutely recognize that. Absolutely. She's a very, very, very feisty, bossy, but also just about fair boss. In the what you need to know, we've got the Six of Pentacles. Pentacles is all about enjoying gifts, celebrating, enjoying being the center of attention for your community, enjoying being rewarded, enjoying being given lots of love and lots of financial gifts, prizes, things like that. You can see here we've got literally gift boxes being given, being floated towards this person. She's enjoying receiving all of this. She is absolutely loving it. She's like, oh yeah, I deserve this. Give me this in me peplon dress. She is absolutely deserving of this gratitude. Pentacles is all about work, career, finances. This is saying that there will be this is a good offer. Okay, if this is a position, what you need to know, if this is a position that's temporary with a view to extending, this is positive. This is a good vibe. Okay, I know it's only in the short term, but joining this team, even if you don't join it permanently, even if this team is put together for a task and then is absolved, it's a really good position to be in. You can get noticed here, and you can get the just desserts. Okay, this is when I say she's fair. She will reward those that put that work ethic in. She really, really will. And then we've got the Sun reversed. Now, this is in the future opportunity. Okay, now the Sun itself is a really lovely positive card. It talks about massive amounts of positive energy, massive amounts of growth, of new life, of new growth, of wonderful, happy, joy, happy, joy. Lots of my gosh, that's Ren and Stimpy. But it's talking about all of that sort of vibe. It's I kind of want to sing songs from the musical Hair. This is reversed though. So it's saying it still brings positivity your way, but it's perhaps something that's either going to come in a way that you're not expecting, or, bear this in mind, something that you're going to have to put more work in than you realize. Okay, because the Sun's energy, when we think about what the Sun does on Earth, life wouldn't exist without the Sun's rays. It just wouldn't. If there was a Simpsons-esque giant umbrella put up to block the Sun's rays, we would all snuff it. Life on this planet would die off. So we need that energy. So it's always positive when the Sun shows up. When it's reversed, it is saying that perhaps it's coming in a different way. Perhaps that positivity and that growth element, that new opportunity, new vibe, perhaps that's going to be something that comes out either with a cost, because you spend too much time in the sun, sunburn, potential cancer, potential this, potential that. So the Sun does have that flip side to it. But I do think it feels more like you're going to have to work your ass off to please this boss, Or if this is you, I don't think it is, but if this is you, then it means you are going to have to work your ass off to be this boss and to have your fingers in every single one of these pies, not to micromanage, give your people the time and the space and all of that they need, but for it to come off the way you need. I think these two are very finely linked cards. Okay, well, all three are, because it's literally saying, look, if you work hard, you'll be rewarded financially, and long term, you will get the benefits. Long term, you'll gain that growth, gain that positivity, but it might not be in the way you expect, and you might have to jump through multiple hoops to get it, but it will be worth it in the long run. And yeah, it feels very positive. It feels very positive. So I hope that helps. I really, really do. And I'm going to quickly jump into that there live chat just to see what you're saying. Let's have a look. You're female, but never a but, my darling. Never ever a but. Look, oops. Do you think she would say, I'm female, but? No. She would say, I'm female, and I believe I've got a lot of knowledge and skills and a lot of experience to bring over more than any of the men. I have the skill set. I'm here for a reason. Do you know what I mean? That's what you need. You do want it to succeed. Not sure who your boss will be, though. Well, just envision this. Envision this. And you're already looking to win an award as the end result, even though you haven't started yet. I know there will be pressure and hard work. Yes, there will be. There will be a lot of hard work, my darling. But if you can do it, and they obviously think you can because that's why you're on this team, then there will be success coming your way at the end of it. But you're going to have to work your ass off to get it. Absolutely work your ass off. Anyway, come and let us know how things go, my darling. Come and let us know how things go in the weeks and months to come. Come and let us know how things go. That would be thoroughly, thoroughly fascinating. But that is it. Thank you ever so much for joining us today. If you've watched this as part of the replay crew, thank you ever so much. Please do give us a like, a thumbs up, all of that YouTube-y stuff. And don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that subscribe button, ding your bell so that YouTube notifies you each and every time I go live. But that is it from me. And as I always say, I'll be back this week. This time I'll be back on Sunday evening at 7 p.m. And then Tuesday at 7, and then back to Thursday at 11:45. But that is it. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.